A Bible study on Lazarus. Lazarus is raised from the dead by Jesus. Lazarus, come forth. With those words Jesus raised Lazarus from the dead, and the miracle of Jesus raising Lazarus from the dead is, arguably, the preeminent public miracle of Jesus' earthly ministry. So, note these key facts about that event which are recorded in the 11th and 12th chapter of the 4th Gospel. These passages and others make it clear that the raising of Lazarus from the dead was a profound event in the life of Jesus. But, since Jesus' raising of Lazarus was such a prominent and highly visible event in Jesus' ministry, what could account for the fact that this remarkable and noteworthy miracle is totally missing from 3 of the 4 Gospels? The first 3 Gospels do not offer even a hint that this miracle occurred, and they also never mention that Jesus had a friend named Lazarus that he loved. Only the 4th Gospel tells us about Lazarus of Bethany. Don't mention it certainly. The first 3 Gospels' failure to mention Jesus' raising of Lazarus from the dead cannot be written off as simply a glaring oversight on the part of the writers. So, what can account for the fact that a public spectacle of such extraordinary significance is not even mentioned in the first 3 Gospels? Those who seek to undermine the credibility of the Bible have sought to use the omission of the raising of Lazarus from the dead in the first 3 Gospels to argue that the account in the 4th Gospel, of Jesus' raising of Lazarus, cannot be true. They argue that if this actually occurred and Jesus had raised Lazarus, then there is no way that all of the other Gospels would have omitted this astounding event. This omission, they claim, proves that the 4th Gospel cannot be true, because they conclude the absence of any reference in the first 3 Gospels to Lazarus coming back from the dead is proof this miracle never happened. However, assuming that the Bible is in error simply because one is not able to resolve this apparent dilemma is a fool's choice. Can people safely assume that if they cannot readily figure out an answer to a question, puzzle, or riddle, then no answer is possible? Of course not. Yet this is the underlying mistaken assumption that so often leads people astray in problem solving in general and in the study of Bible issues in particular. No doubt pride is a factor when people are reluctant to admit or even consider that an answer might exist that they are unable to see. But whatever the cause, assuming the answers to a given question are limited to only those which seem to be obvious is an assumption sure to lead astray. In the case of those seeking to use the miracle of Jesus raising Lazarus from the dead as an occasion to discredit the 4th Gospel, by arguing that the other Gospel writers' omission of this miracle means it must not have occurred, they fail to consider that the other 3 Gospel writers could have had a purpose for omitting any mention of Lazarus and this miracle in their writings. But this would not serve to undermine the credibility of the Bible, so those looking for a way to prove the Bible is in error will rush to claim that this omission is proof of biblical error. Still, the fact remains that the miracle of Jesus raising Lazarus from the dead is not found in 3 of the 4 Gospels, and this glaring omission begs the question, why? Given the significance of Jesus' raising of Lazarus and the aftershocks of that event, the writers of the first 3 Gospels must have had a good reason for leaving any mention of Lazarus and that miracle out of their accounts of the life of Jesus.